Yesu wabobese egwiza kwa mono kina samuna kwa wosono egwiza kwa mono kina samuna Yesu Kristo imbuluzi samuna Yesu Kristo imbuluzi kolompe kakalayao mambu mama kabasi sila zambuzandi za kwelembu yetwa onso tutambulazo samuna Yesu Kristo imbuluzi samuna Yesu Kristo.
The place of habitation of Lucifer can only be religious, since Satan is spirit. Revelation 2:13. Satan has a place of habitation, built on the ruins of the pantheons of a range of pagan Edomite deities, the fallen angels. It is at the Vatican. Thus atop the pyramid is the Vatican, Lucifer. On both sides, there is, USA the United States, and the purse is London, the devil Mani, which means money in English, money. It is a Babylonian deity, called Mammon in Matthew 6:24, who had seduced the Bakongas back from Babylon, Isaiah 65:11. But you, who give up to Yahweh, who forget my holy mountain, who draw a table for fortune, poorly translated as gad or troop, and fill a cup for many or money. Louis II, fallen Kingdom of Congo of the authority of the Makoku, Nkarkas, today Mani Congo. Please click on the image map of Artelius left in the Apocryphal, Tob Bible 3 Ezra 9:30. The Benacongas gave themselves the name Mani. Bethel and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord. Genesis 13:3. And he journeyed on from the Negeb as far as Bethel to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai. Genesis 28:19. He called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of the city was Luz at the first. Luoza comes from the Hebrew word Louisiah or Luz, a town about 7 kilometers from Banias. Judges 1:23, Joshua 18:13. And the border went over from thence toward Luz, to the side of Luz, which is Bethel, southward, and the border descended to Ataroth-Adar, near the hill that lieth on the south side of the nether Beth-horon. Genesis 35:6. And Jacob came to Luz, that is, Bethel, which is in the land of Canaan, he and all the people who were with him. Genesis 35:7. And there he built an altar and called the place El Bethel, because there God had revealed himself to him when he fled from his brother. Congo/Zaire and Congo-Brazzaville. The names of the African countries and cities that were once Jewish settlements became, over time, names of villages of major cities and of countries. Each of these camps has a name of Jewish origin. They are either names of people or place of Israeli origin, very few are of Egyptian origin. Congo. Everywhere in these countries the meaning is the same, powerful kingdom or Hebrew language. Nwa or Na, own, pronounced in a shortened way. Congo, the word was changed into Zaire, which according to the legend is a distortion, by the Portuguese, of the word Nzati meaning river or great waters. The country had to bear that name because of its great river. But this legend seems to be unconvincing, by the fact that the word Yer came from a sandy island of Yemen, on the Red Sea and meant, God enlighten, 1 Chronicle 5:23, Numeri 32-4. Nzati is close to Zabibs, which means in Hebrew, God gave or a gift of God. Man of Judah of the family of Zerch, founder of a patriarchal family. Joshua 7:1. Man of Shephem, proposed under King David to the stewardship of the wine reserves in the vineyards, 1 Chronicles 27:27. A. Application of Hebrew prefixes on the names of the city of Kinshasa. Kinshasa, the capital of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, is a city formed by the Lemba people whose name comes from Zimbabwe. Its real name is Banzalemba, which exists to this day at the foot of the hill on which the University of Kinshasa is built. Ex-Lovanium University. Kinshasa was a Jewish pectoral town like all the ancient Jewish cities. The name Kinshasa, capital of Congo, is taken up in Uganda as Ishasa. It comes from the Hebrew word Kuschaja, who was a Levite of the family of Merari, 1 Chronicles 15:17. From the east to the west of the city of Kinshasa, Maluku comes from the Hebrew word maluk or meliku, kwlm or Levite, chief of the priests who returned with Zerubbabel, Nehemiah. 12-2, Esdras. 10:29-32. One of the priests who put their seal to the covenant, Nehemiah. 10-5 and 29. Nsel comes from the Hebrew word sel, which means crevasse, one of the heroes of King David, 2 Samuel. 23:37, 1 Chronicles. 11:39. Kinshasa was also called Malebo, which comes from Maribor or Marib. It is a city that has 24 municipalities or communes, each bearing a name of Jewish origin. These names are also found in the neighborhoods and avenues of this city. Kinkhol comes from the Hebrew word Koheleth or Kel-Koheleth, leader of the Assembly of Sages. According to historians, Koheleth appears to be the author of the Book of Ecclesiastes. See Biblical Dictionary. Masina comes from the Hebrew word Marsena, Enorm. One of 7 Persian princes who had permission to see the king, is 114. The name Masina is from Yemen through Mali, Ivory Coast, the 2 Congos to the border of South Africa and Zimbabwe. Kimbans comes from the Hebrew word Bezek or Kel-Bezik, QZB, place where Saul made the review of the troops of Judah, 1 Sat 11-8. Matete comes from the Hebrew word Matidio or Matiti, hit more wide meaning, gift of the Lord. Levite whom King David placed at the 14th rank of the cantors, 1 Chronicles. 25-3, Esdras. 10:43, Nehemiah. 8-4. Lemba comes from the Hebrew word lehem, meaning peace, 1 Chronicles. 4:22. This name also means peace in Congo, Luba and other Bantu languages. Selembao comes from the Hebrew word salimia or chelemiah, Himlv or Wimlv, meaning the Lord has rewarded. Doorman of the temple under King David, 1 Chronicles. 26:14, Jeremiah. 26:14, Jeremiah 36:26, Nehemiah 3:30, Esdras. 10:39-41. Yolo comes from the Hebrew word Yalo, son of Ezra of the tribe of Judah, 1 Chr. 4:17. Limete comes from the Hebrew word Laim Midij. Luhem, meaning peace, and Midij, meaning break of the capital, city which David took away from the Philistines, 2 Sat. 8-1. Kazavubu comes from the Hebrew word Zavub, son of Nathan, 1 minister under Solomon, 1 Kings. 4-5. Nephila comes from the Hebrew word Afula, city located north of Jerusalem. Jrinjri comes from the Hebrew word Kir, place where the Assyrians deported the inhabitants of Damascus, 2 Kings 16:9. Amos. 1-5. Makala comes from the Hebrew word Makalath or Makala, tlhqm, meaning assembly. Settlement of Israel in the desert, number 33:25-26. This word is found in Yemen, Sudan, the 2 Congos and Angola where it is pronounced Makalat. Lingwala comes from the Hebrew word Gel, Lawag, meaning majesty of God, spy of the tribe of Gad, Numbers 13:15. The root Gel is found in Lingwala and in Gangel, Angongel, a port of sinners along the Congo River. Ngaliama comes from the Hebrew word Galim or Galilim, Milg, meaning heap. Neighboring village of Gibeah of Saul, 1 Samuel. 25:44, 2 Samuel 4:13-16, Jos. 15:59. Mis comes from the Hebrew word Bezek, 1 Samuel 11:8. Ngaba comes from the Hebrew word Gabai, tax collector, Benjamite who consented to settle in Jerusalem after captivity, Nehemiah 11-8. Zaba comes from the Hebrew word Zabad, dbz means God has given, 1 Chronicles 7:21. Gombe comes from the Hebrew word gob or swallow, bg or bwg, which means well or cistern. Place where the Israelites, under King David, battled with the Philistines. 2 Samuel 21:18-19. Burumba comes from the Hebrew word Baharim si Burundi. B. Application of the prefixes to the names of provinces, cities and people of the Congo.